Hello everyone. I wanted to introduce a new project that I will be working on in the near future, probably on streams. So I just wanted to give everyone a heads up so that anyone who wants to work along with me in this can gather their stuff together and decide if they actually want to do it or not. I've been thinking about this for a couple of months and I did have to postpone this because of the move. And so I really wanted to start this a couple months ago and just have not been able to do that. So what this is it's a sketchbook project. There's a lot of sketchbook projects going on right about now. Summer seems to be the time to start sketchbooks and things like that. And I wanted to introduce the idea of not only like working in a sketchbook, but using a sketchbook for, references and working things out and a place for ideas so that you don't forget what you want to try and things like that. It's different from a art journal because an art journal is very intimidating. An art journal is something that you want to have you want it to be very, very pretty. You want it to be full of art, and you want to be able to look at it and show everyone what it is and what you're doing. And it can be very intimidating because if you're doing an art journal and it's not turning out the way you want it to, it's very disappointing. It's very frustrating. And so I am introducing the idea of working in a sketchbook because it is something that's private. It's something that you don't share, that it doesn't matter if it doesn't turn out. It doesn't matter if it's ugly. It doesn't matter any of those things. You don't have to share it with anybody. It's a place for you alone to work out things, to give yourself ideas, and to remind yourself of things that you would like to do. So I showed this sketchbook that I did in 1992, I think it was. I showed this sketchbook in a live stream before I moved, and the idea for this sketchbook is basically to work out ideas, to show references, and to show some things that I did for the a technical college is what it was. So this is a place to gather things together for an assessment for the end of the school year or the end of the the, the course. So in it, I have all my gathered bits of experiments that I've done. I've got this graffito here, some tissue paper, and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a place that I glued experiments in, things that I was working out, things that I was supposed to do for my list for my assessment, and all of this is just stuff, fun stuff. It ends up to be kind of pretty, but it doesn't have to be. A sketchbook is a place for you to work things out and to see if something will work, or to practice, or all that kind of stuff. So that is one idea, one way to keep a sketchbook. I've got another one here that I started in 1998 and I had going for quite a few years. It's ugly. It's just a place, and I don't show this very often. I don't show this at all. This is a place where I scribble and I'm working out ideas. This mostly was working out ideas for my nitwits that I did in 2000, I think it was 2004, maybe 2005. So this was me trying to figure out what the bodies of these nitwits would look like and what kind of shapes I wanted to do and what kind of faces were going to go on top of them. I've got, faces, sketched out that I kind of wanted to try, and it's just ugliness. It's not anything that I really care to show anybody, but I want to show kind of, what you can use a sketchbook for, working stuff out. And that's all this one is. And this one's mostly just drawings and doodles and ideas for faces and things like that. So it's all crammed in there. I've got notes and things like that. So here is my idea for the sketchbooks. My mat keeps moving around. It didn't move around before. I don't know how I kept it stable. So this is my idea for sketchbooks. I would like to use sketchbooks for remembering ideas, sketching things. When I go through magazines like the Stampington and Company magazines, the art journaling magazine, things like that, there's a lot of things in there that I want to try. And I don't always remember to go through all the magazines again when I am trying to think of something to do. So I kind of need a list or a place to put lists of things that I want to try. And so this will be, and I haven't really done a lot in it yet, but this will be a place where I can write out instructions for myself for things that I would like to try, that I've seen other people do, or that I just want to try. I do have a whole bunch of notes that I've given myself for art journaling, and I have yet to get through all of those notes for those things that I wanted to try. So I'm thinking that maybe I will try them in my sketchbook. So I can do a little patch of painting or, whatever it is, and find out if I like doing it, find out if it works for me, find out if I have the right stuff to do whatever it is. So I've given myself some notes on a technique that I would like to try. I've written it in pencil, and I will try it on this page, and then I might erase this, or I might just keep it so it reminds me of what that experiment is. And this is also a place to put pictures that inspire you, that you want, that might inspire something else. You see a picture and you think, oh, well, that would be an interesting way to do this or that or the other thing. So, gluing pictures in is a way to remind yourself of that kind of thing. So what I am suggesting, and what I will be doing on some streams, not every stream, but a few streams, is I will be pulling out my sketchbooks, and I've got more than one. I do have this one that I started. I also have this one. It's a spiral bound one that I got at Walmart for $1.87 or something. And it's also a place where it's small enough that I can throw in a bag or whatever, and I've got things to work on, a place to put notes when I'm out, to remind myself of something. It's a place to glue things in that inspire me or that I want to try, or something. A place to, these are some fish that I was sketching out. I needed the shape of a fish, and so I was sketching out the shape to see what kind of shapes I could come up with. Just things like that. So you don't have to use a book that's already put together. You can put together a signature that you can use for experimental sketchbook. Just some different kinds of papers. I showed this one in the last couple of streams, I think. I just put some scrapbook paper together, some watercolor paper, drawing paper, sketchbook paper, all kinds of different things. Some typing paper too, I think. And I just sewed the signature together with 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Just sewed these papers together after I folded them in half. So I have a little booklet that I can use. If you're not really familiar with keeping a sketchbook, if you've never kept a sketchbook, you don't think it really is for you, you might want to give it a try. If you're having troubles with your art journal, that it's not working out for you, a sketchbook would be a great place to start over, for a new beginning. It would give yourself a place to do experiments, to try and experiment with things and new techniques and all that stuff without having the pressure of it being pretty. This is a place that you can give yourself permission just to mess up, to make ugly, just to write notes. It doesn't matter if you've spelled words correctly. You're the only one that's going to see this. It's a place for you. It's a private place to work things out. You don't have to share it. If something works out and you really like it, then you can take that to your art journal and do it where you want it to be. But you can do a signature. You can use the blank books that we all have. Of course, here's another one that I've started with the color combinations that I wanted to remember, and so that's that one. This is me trying to work out, something was smearing, or I couldn't write over some of my watercolor crayons, I think is what that was. And so I put a bunch of watercolor crayons down, and I was using a pen to see if I could write over them, and I couldn't find anything that I couldn't write over. So this was just an experiment to find out how the watercolor crayons and other sticks that I have work with pen marks on top of them. It's not pretty. It's just, something, it's some place to work that stuff out. And I haven't done much else in that book. We all have those little booklets that we buy. We buy them with great intentions. We think we're going to write in them, and then we never use them again. I know I'm not the only one that's got one or two of these. I've got probably 15. Never used them. These would be a great little tiny book to write your ideas in. A little sketchbook. A little place to do some experiments, to try out some paint or whatever. We all have those composition books. We love them, right? We have a couple of them. We bought on sale. After school sales are coming, and these things will probably be 50 cents. I have two I've never used. Never used them. They would be great for this kind of thing. We can do the journaling by fives in them. We can mess it up. We can just glue things in them. We can do whatever we want. So this is what I suggest. Grab whatever you have. Don't go buy something. You've got something, I know you do, that you can use. And what I will do during streams and things like that are some suggestions on things to experiment with in your sketchbook. Let's do a little collage. Let's draw something over that collage. Let's do one of these little experiments. And together we can show, or we can teach ourselves how to work in a book and how to like what we're doing eventually. But like I said, these don't have to be pretty. These are just a place to play and experiment, and you don't have to show anyone unless you really, really like it. And then at the end, you might have something that you really enjoy and gives you a starting point to do an art journal that you're committed to and want to play with. After experimenting and just playing and making an ugly sketchbook, it really does give you a jump off point to into art journaling and making pages that you enjoy and like, and doing things that you want to do, and it's really ugly. Um, so that's my thing. That's one of the projects that I will be working on. I have some things that I want to glue in here that I want to try, and so that's my suggestion, and I just wanted to put it out there so you guys could all grab any kind of book that will do. It can be a really small one if you want to throw it in your purse whenever you're out, so that you have something to doodle on when you are sitting in line or waiting for the kids, or whatever it is that you do. So this is a great place to try out Zen doodling, to try out watercolors. There's so many things that we can do, and so that's my proposal. I do hope that you work along with me, and we'll get some sketchbooks going, and we'll find out how much fun it is to start working in books and just messing around and playing and start having some fun without any pressure. That's the major thing. This isn't going to be pretty. It's just going to be fun. So, hope you join me. Thanks for watching.